What's good, y'all? It's your boy Reed got options, and like I always say, whether the market's up or down, we see green. The market was down today, but it still closed at support. It held this 733 area on S&P 500. We can zoom in a little bit and check this out. This is a bullish reversal starting to happen. We need confirmation above previous day high, and we need to break out of 741 for a continuation. And this is a bullish reversal. This is a Morningstar doji, had some indecision today, but still held support like we did on the 12th, 18th, and now today. Paying attention to this, you need to understand that if you missed a downside move, you just missed it. You need continuation under here to place some more puts to the next level of 729. After 729, it could drop to 725. This area does not hold. These levels are critical right now while we're sitting at the highs. If you try to call the top, then you could get burned. The top is not in until we start seeing a new trend, a change of character, and we're close to that change of character happening to the downside. We do have NVDA earnings, so I don't think SPY would make a big move until those earnings are out of there, because we are dependent on a lot of headlines as it seems right now. Also, we're going to talk about oil and how that's affecting the S&P 500, because there's no way the S&P 500 should be this high while oil is still back at the highs. Triple Q is doing the same thing, sitting at support, looking good, but it's under the 9 EMA. Same doji setup, this Morningstar doji, with a bullish reversal setup possibly happening. But again, NVIDIA is going to be the big dog that's going to move the market. Also, we have semiconductors and other tech stocks that could push Triple Q's up. They all miss and they just don't continue up to the upside. We stop chopping up and down, going up 3% on semiconductors and down 3% the next day on semiconductors. We stop doing that ring around the rosy movement. Then we can get some good fluid movement to the downside or the upside with triple Qs. But with triple Qs, you break below this area 698, you can come back down to 21 EMA and find support, which is the gap fill around 682. Holding support right here 698 is good so far. Break down, then you know where we're going to. We break out, we can get back up to the highs. Looking at Tesla, another support was found today at the 200 EMA. Pay attention to the 9 EMA and the 21 EMA on the daily. If they did not cross, this is possible to just be a pullback right here before it goes back up to the highs. Tentatively, SpaceX should IPO June 12th. Elon Musk has a lot of things in store, and Tesla could be absolved by SpaceX. So pay attention to that. If the news are good leading up into June 12th, then Tesla could start pumping back up. All right. A lot of people could liquidate their shares of Tesla going into the SpaceX IPO to get a piece of that SpaceX wave, a piece of those stocks, if Tesla is not getting absolved by it and it's going to be its own standalone company. So you need to pay attention to that. The 78% retracement level right here is very, very important. You get above 405, you can jump right back up to 415, 416. You get above the 9 EMA on the daily, we could see a V-shaped recovery right here at the highs and then start rejecting 453 again. So if we do get up at this area and see another red candle, puts all the way, because you can see that it is a strong, strong, strong resistance. All right. Looking at NVIDIA, big day tomorrow, close right here at the 9 EMA, previous week high, previous week low, Fibonacci retracement setup. We're sitting at the 23% retracement level and is looking a little bullish right now. We had the downtrend and we can get the uptrend if this reversal pattern hits. You just seen a reversal pattern set up on multiple tickers. All right. And if we break below here, then we can get this 213. After 213, 21 EMA and just a straight shot to the 50 EMA, 200. Under 200, we can go all the way down to 182. After that, we fill the gap up right here at 178. This is a strong buy area, was a strong resistance area for me at one point in time, but look at all this confluence through here in this 178 level. Boom, once we broke out, we started running up. All right, we did have this descending wedge you talked about a couple weeks ago, and we ran up since then. So pay attention to NVIDIA. Very, very big day tomorrow. Stay clear of trying to gamble on earnings. If you do trade earnings, the one trick that you need to do is straddle. Okay, so if you get a 225 call for Friday, if you want to get a trade that close, get a put for 225, so you can cut the loser, take the winner. Only way you will lose that is if it just stays stagnant at 219 the whole time throughout the week. All right, that is the way you can save your portfolio. Other than that, it's not wise to trade earnings, because you're essentially just gambling, because even if they have a good earnings, they can have an IV crush, and you do not want that, meaning that implied volatility is so high that it crushes the stock. Even though it had a good earnings, it start coming down, flushing, and then when the Options prices regulate, boom, that's when the buyers step in. So you want to stay clear of that. If you do want to trade earnings, straddles are the best thing to do. UNH sitting at the 9 EMA on the daily. We are having a crazy move to the upside, but look at this. Possible bull flag setup. All right, you break below this wedge right here, you get under 384, then yes, you can start coming down. You break out above previous day high at 394, 395, you can start going up, making new highs. Within the last couple weeks, above 404. If you zoom out and look, we got a long way up to fill this gap up here around the 543 area. Okay, so you have not missed the up move yet on UNH. Playing UNH for the long term would be the best thing for you to do. It does move a lot in the short term, but you see what has happened right here. We have a nice little downtrend, but we possibly created a bullish reversal. We have the flagpole right here in the flag. You break down below, you're dropping. You break out, then you're good money. You can look at 404, 405 calls for the next month or so. Oil is doing its thing still. You see that we did have this drop right here, right? But the 9 EMA did not cross the 21 EMA, and that just means it was a pullback and not a breakdown. Okay, the 9 EMA got bullish again, started moving up, and so did US oil, especially with geopolitical tensions right now with US and Iran, and stuff is not stopping. They keep talking about trade deals. Trump's giving them 48 hours, so on and so forth. The Strait of Hormuz this, the Strait of Hormuz is that. Just open the Strait of Hormuz and bring these gas prices down, please. Goodness gracious, you're cooking me right now. But until that happens, oil is going to keep going up. We have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and we're sitting at the 618 range. We break out of here, US oil right here can go all the way up to 113. After that, the 120 area. Looking at Chevron, looking bullish. We have the double bottom right here. We found support at 180. After 180, boom, breakout. Again, you see that the 9 EMA, 21 EMA, and the 50 EMA are aligned on the daily. This is bullish momentum right here. It looks like Chevron wants to get above 199. It gets above 199, 200 and go to 202. 202 will send it skyrocketing back up to 208. All right, the highs were up here around this 215 level. Could possibly happen if we don't get any type of deals when it comes to this whole Strait of Hormuz fiasco. So this is what you want to pay attention to. While the stock market is still at the highs, oil still creeping up, rising gas prices, rising inflation, rising prices in goods. It's not cool at all. So pay attention to the stock market, because if something that they both keep going up at the same time all together, something is going to break eventually. All right, and it's not going to be anything that we want. I know they're talking about a tech bubble forming. They're talking about spies at the all-time highs. It should come down. We're going to get a market correction. Market corrections are from 3 to 15%. All that stuff is scary. We cannot call the highs, but we can see what's going to make the market come down, and oil will be one of the things that make the market drop down. Okay, and we do get good news on oil. Then you see Chevron, Exxon, all those tickers start dropping. The US oil dropping too. I would love to see US oil back around the $75, $80 area. Shoot, even at $90 would be fine with me at this point. It's just that it cannot be this high. But like I always say, whether the market's up or down, we see green. Peace.